This is a brutal handicap.
What a line, though. Were you shocked by this line? I was shocked when I saw this line.
Shocked,
Yeah,
shocked. Like, because it makes me want to take the dog. Of course, I want to
of
take
course.
the home dog in the division.
Herbert
Like,
hasn't looked healthy in 3 weeks. Doesn't matter. They had a bye week. It's like, isn't this a 3, 4 week injury that needs to heal from?
so here's the thing. I mean, this, the, during the NCAA tournament, you always get these bet on games, right? Where the way the seedings work out, you end up getting the two teams that you believe are undervalued, and you want to bet on both of them, but you're hoping they were going to play like Duke and North Carolina, not each
Right, right.
other in the 8-9 game. This has the feel of that to me because we've got Jim Harbaugh, who's been brilliant as an NFL coach
Yeah.
against the spread, against Sean Payton, who's been brilliant as an NFL coach against the spread, who, by the way, like he has to be all in on Bo Nix. He has reached for a second round quarterback in the middle of the first round and then invested his entire offense in developing around this guy. He has to work for Sean Payton to have any success at the Broncos right now. And like, I don't want to bet against Sean Payton, but he's Jim Harbaugh's off a bye. Herbert was still wearing the ankle brace in practice, but we know Joe Alt was a full participant. Slater and Bosa practiced, although on the sideline, could be trending to playing. It's like, what are we doing here?
No,
Don't tell me
official line of
we're
the week. I'm either on the Chargers or I'm not betting this game at all because I just don't understand this line at all. So I'll trust the books and I'll just go against my model here and be like, you know what? You just said it. They must think you get both those guys up front for that O line on this Chargers team. You're neutralize what's been so great for that Denver team. Right? Denver's D line has been incredible this
astounding.
year. Yeah,
Elite.
yeah. So you know, this whole game plan, it doesn't really cater towards whatever it is. It just the books are looking at this saying this is definitely a Chargers side that it favors them this matchup. So I'll trust them here, Chad, and I'll kind of swallow my pride here and I'll ride with the book here. But man, now, do I have no confidence in making this bet? I'm missing something. I don't know what they're seeing, but they're clearly seeing something here.
Maybe this will be a sharp calls, right? Maybe we'll get some intel on this. What do you have it power rated at?
One. So I had the Chargers. If it was going to be a pick, once I heard Herbert was all good and he was going to actually play this game, moved it up to one. They should be a 1 point favorite, right? You just said it. Like they're the better, more veteran team. The Broncos are playing with house money, sitting here at 3-2 through 5 weeks. I mean, this is incredible how well they've played early here in the season. So, yeah, you just expect this rookie to cost them a couple games. Like there's a reason, like you just said, there's a reason he did went so late where he did, but they've just been hiding it. They've been protecting against it. And it's really incredible how they've made it work early here in the season. Like they just don't let this kid beat them. Where looking at Tennessee, they can't stop Will Levis from beating them. They have to take him out of the game so they can win a freaking game with Mason Rudolph. So it is just night and day. These different teams, they're different. The way they build and how they coach these guys. So yeah, like I said, there's something I'm clearly missing here. Like there's 2 points of value in my model right now to Denver, but something's off. Something's a little fishy with this line. So yeah, right now I'll back the Chargers, but
I'm
definitely a game I'm going to dive into more.
I'm so glad you said that because when I was doing my research all day Monday and then even into this morning, I kept thinking I want to back the Chargers. Like I'm not trusting what I'm seeing from Bo Nix,
No,
right? And what's nice about getting 4 or 5 games under your belt is you can deconstruct a team's progress and their wins and losses and what 3-2 really looks like, right? There's sort of a gambling transitive property. The Broncos played close against the Seahawks. Did we think the Seahawks were not as good? Did we think the Broncos were better? Now we're starting to see maybe the Seahawks weren't as good. Then the Broncos beat up on the Jets in the Meadowlands in a really bad weather game. They executed at the end. The Jets did not. Does that mean the Broncos are better because we were starting to believe in the Jets? No, it turns out the Jets might have just been really dysfunctional and that they aren't able to win those games. And now they fired their coach. So, how are we thinking about the Broncos versus the Chargers, who to me, there's less volatility. Like if you looked at their EKG, you know what you're getting every single time. And we've talked about this. It's why we bet the Chargers is 7.5 point underdogs against the Chiefs. They're a consistent team. We know what the mindset is. We know they want to be physical. We know they want to run the ball. We know
Yeah.
they want to play aggressive defense. We know that they are building the team around the players that can do that. They don't want Herbert to make mistakes for them. Like they're in line to be the adult team in this game. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the key too, is they just his Harbaugh's whole thing this year has just been Herbert's not going to lose us games. We are not turning the ball over. If we don't turn the ball over and we let the other team make a mistake, that's how we'll win games. And that's what they've done this season. They've just played this really boring, sluggish, draw it out, punch you in the mouth, running football with Herbert every now and then have a nice play on play action read. But he's not turning the ball over. And that's really been their identity. It's like they just wait. They're like a Venus flytrap. They wait for you to make a mistake and then they pounce, and it's been working. Like even in that Chiefs game, I felt like we were going to win that game if Herbert really hadn't gotten hurt again. Like they were up, I think, was it 10-0 at one point? Whatever it was
Yeah.
like they're going to win this game if they get another touchdown here. And obviously he got more banged up and they couldn't get there. But yeah, I could see it's starting to make sense why this number is what it is, but at the same time, it's a funny number just because we talk all the time. We really usually want to take these divisional home dogs, especially in October.
Harbaugh is so predictable. He's not trying to be sexy. He's told
No.
us his entire career who he is. We know what we're going to get. Less volatility. I know the line is funky. I want to hear more intel from the sharp calls or whatever else you find out over the next 48 hours. It's not a bet yet, but it's on the list.